Well guys, here we are in the middle of the ex-Ooyy and it's awesome. There are peaks all over the place. I can see there's a valley wind pulling through underneath me on the lake. So I'm gonna have to be careful not to go around the corner. But magic, man. There's a guy that's landed down there. I can see he's moving around, so that's cool, he's okay. I'm gonna try and work up this face. One up there, and then, I don't know, make it up as I go along. The wind's very light today. You can see the little cumulus forming, cloud shadows are hardly moving. It's supposed to be a bit of an easterly drift or a northerly drift. But this is south facing, so there should be something coming off it. As you glide in, watch your ground speed. If the lee is working, you should have a high ground speed. You should be drawn towards the mountain. Be careful if you've got a headwind and you're fighting against it, because that means the wind is spilling over. So you can usually search quite far if you follow the valley flow. And what you're trying to do is find that focus point of the lee where you're going to have the best lift. Little bullet there. You can expect the lee to be rough. It's not going to be smooth thermals. There are going to be little pockets and punchy bits. And you're trying to feel where that focus point is and work up so that you can clear the terrain as quickly as possible. This sort of flying requires active control. Kind of rough, yeah? So make sure that you've got some practice with pitch control and wing overs and controlling your glider's energy before you start moving into lee-side areas to try and fly cross country using them. You've got to be patient in the lee because sometimes it isn't releasing. So you want to keep yourself in that focus point and stay up as long as possible to give yourself a chance. A lot of what I'm doing is feeling the air. And the way you do that, partly the way the glider is moving, the amount of active flying you're having to do, and partly I'm watching my ground speed. So I'm very aware of, is there a headwind, which means my ground speed will be low? Is there a tailwind? Am I speeding up across the rocks? And which way is my glider wanting to yaw? It's a bit weird, yeah? If it's coming over from the right, my glider's going to start yawing to the right. It'll have a tendency to turn into wind, just as that wind changes. And that's something to be very careful of. So here I'm just slowing down a bit to ride this lift and make sure that I've got a bit of clearance in case this is just going to be rotor. Feels like it's coming around from the far side. Like this side. Bit weird. So this means that the sea breeze is quite deep. It's coming all the way up to this peak, and here it's just sliding off the peak. Yep, that's the sea breeze coming around the corner. Damn. So if you've still got height, you've got the opportunity to run and get back to that lee. Don't do this low down because the wind will be creating a lot of turbulence and low down it tends to be sliding off the ridge. So I've come back to my focus point that I identified earlier, and I've changed my turning circle so that my slow leg is close to the slope, which is safer. That's the usual setup with finding the lee. The wind will be spilling around the corner, driving into the valley, and at some point it's meeting the slow air that's just sliding up the slopes. It's just kind of static air mass. It's really hard to turn this glider. Not wanting to turn. It's pretty typical of a LEESIDE climb. It's pretty powerful once it tip you out. And because of the turbulence, what I'm doing is I'm controlling with the outside brake, my right hand, to just control the wing surges and stop it collapsing on the outer tip. That limits what you can do with your turn, but it's an important part of active control. And this is really important, is to just hold on to that climb. I haven't really worked my next move out. I'm just trying to get up. It's always going to be a bit rowdy. Right, that's the turn point. I like the look of the sea air coming in here. Go back for that climby bit, and maybe I can make up some plan. It's often better to stay on the lee side where the air is climbing and the cloud base is high, and move inland to get to the good air where you can see this higher cloud base. I hope that helps you find the lee and stay safe when you're doing those LEESIDE climbs. If you'd like to learn more, I've got many more videos like this where I share tips and tricks and help you progress in your flying on my website. Come and join me.